Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to tell you about another product. You can find them on Amazon, but today I'm showing you the hydration backpack carrier as well as the hydration bladder itself, kind of used in unison or together. I like this quite a bit. I've never owned a hydration bladder before, and now I'm seeing how convenient it is. I'm out on the St. Croix River in Minnesota on the really narrow, thin part of it. It's a beautiful place. I love Minnesota and I love the St. Croix River. And I just thought I would show you something that I found out was very convenient for a trip, which is this hydration bladder and this little mini backpack. It's definitely a lightweight, slimmer profile version for your EDC gear. You don't have to haul a big backpack out there with everything that you don't need. Sometimes you just take a small amount of things that you do need, and of course you always need something to drink when you head out into the woods. So as far as the backpack itself, I have the multicam version here, and I have some of my other personal items inside of it, as well as that hydration bladder itself. And so I'm just going to show you the way that I use it. I have an O-light, a real small O-light clipped on there. It's a very convenient place to run it through the MOLLE, keep it secured, and also convenient, easily accessible. I pretty much don't go anywhere without a marker or a pen of some sort in one of my bags. I just tend to use them almost every single trip in one way or another, or writing down things on my bags when I'm hiking, notes, something I'm thinking of. And then in the next pouch here, you can see that there's actually a generous amount of space in this additional pocket. And there's a couple compartments in there. I have a Bear Force Knives Simple Knife 2, a pocket boy from Silky Saw, and then a lighter. Just some of the basic things I almost never leave without, especially if I'm going hiking. And you can see there's a few different ways you could store things in there, retain them, and keep them organized. And so I can fit all the way down a little past my wrist, and I have a pretty long arm. There's another mesh pocket in there for organization if you just need to keep some things compartmentalized away from other items in there. The zippers seem to be really good quality. The mesh seems to be good quality as well, and it's a joy to use something when it actually works the way it's supposed to. So those zippers seem very high quality, very easy to use, smooth, consistent, and don't bind up. In the sunglasses compartment, I was keeping my bandana in there, but I do think actually you could fit a full sunglasses case, like a protector, as well as some large size sunglasses like what I'm wearing right there. Those are large size sunglasses and they fit in there just perfectly, but it's a nice size compartment for other things as well. In the main pouch, I had my hammock set with me. This is my ultralight hammock setup for when I'm going backpacking and doing short trips like this, day trips. Very, very light, sub 1 pound pack. You can see how deep that pocket goes. It's very impressive how much you can fit inside of this hydration backpack. The bladder carrier itself as a backpack is very suitable for short trips, even on its own without the bladder. You could do a lot with it. It wouldn't have to be just a hiking backpack. I think it's pretty well built and suitable for just carrying a small amount of things on a trip. There's the bladder itself. I really like this design because it sits against your back, which is technically a really great insulator between you and any other gear in your backpack. Very comfortable, fits a few liters in there, and it's as much as I actually tend to need. So as far as the backpack goes and carrying some weight in there, you can see there's some padding in the shoulder pads. I thought it was plenty enough with my pack actually loaded up pretty much full. It was almost all the way full. It's got some D-rings, some elastic for running your actual hydration tube through the hose, and then you can clip it right next to your face, your chest, wherever you like to carry it. The straps are good and they're retained. They have retainers on the straps. That's a really nice addition on there, so everything just stays nice and tight and slimline. You don't have things hanging off the bag in kind of an awkward way. It does have padding for both your shoulders and then your lower back too, depending how tall you are. For me, obviously, I'm a much taller person. I'm 6'5", by the way, and so the padding is going to sit in a little bit different place for each kind of body type, but it's going to work well for most people out there. It worked well for me. I had no complaints, no issues, especially because I had water against my back. The chest strap has something really neat, and it was actually pretty loud. I wasn't going to put it in the audio because it's kind of piercing, but it has a whistle that works very, very well. It's an emergency whistle built right into that chest pad, and so that was awesome. Fitting it back into the compartment here, I just want to show you how you install your hydration bladder when it's full of water. It's actually really simple, slips right in, very nice, and then up through the sleeve by the shoulder, it's just going to slip right in there. The only thing you have to do is make sure that it doesn't get a little kink in it when you're pulling it through, and then you're going to slip it through the elastic, which is very nice that it has a retainer, and clip it in, and now it's right in the place where I like to have it when I'm hiking and I want to grab a drink. And pretty much any position you're in, as long as you're wearing that backpack, it's going to be very convenient. And even sitting down or having it near you somewhere, near me in the hammock, I was able to grab a drink from it very conveniently. It works exactly as it's advertised, and the backpack made it very smooth to bring it around with me, and I like it quite a bit. You know, being a 6'5", about 230-pound guy, I was surprised to find that this backpack can probably fit quite a few different kinds of body types, by the way. Here's a little demonstration of just how it works, and so you can kind of see the pressure as I'm sucking on the tube. A little bit of water comes through, and then I push it closed because it has an open close capability on there, and I probably should show you that here just a second. You can pull out and push in, and it allows for water to either pass through or not pass through. And the reason that's nice is because there's a seal to make sure it doesn't leak, and then there's a cap to make sure it stays clean and doesn't get junk inside of it. Overall, I really like this combination of gear. I didn't know that I would be, into a hydration bladder itself. I've never used one before until this, and I think the reason I like it so much is the backpack hydration bladder combination. These two things really make a lot of sense. It was a really nice day to sit out by the water, and I was appreciating that I didn't have a big, bulky, hard plastic bottle in my backpack where I was always reaching for that. I had something that was connected to me the whole time I was out there, and it was very convenient to use, and so I can recommend it. I think it's a good build quality. I really like the camo design. Very affordable, guys. It's very, very affordable, and if you're looking for something that's slimline to get you out into the woods and hiking, backpacking, different body types, like I said, it's going to fit a lot of people. One thing I discovered is that because the backpack is a little bit smaller and it fits really nice and tight, it's more agile. It helps me be more agile when I'm in the woods and I'm doing things with a lot of activity, which makes sense. It's a hydration backpack. It's meant to be doing some activity, some level of biking or hiking or movement, and stay agile. It doesn't throw me off. So if I'm jumping over a little stream or, kind of doing a small amount of rock climbing, something of that nature, I don't feel like the backpack is throwing me off as the weight shifts inside the backpack, because it really doesn't shift. It stays really nice and tight. I think the design of the backpack is going to fit a lot of people's bodies, and it's going to help keep the load in your backpack centered up, especially the water if you use the hydration bladder. It's going to help keep it nice and centered to your body, and so you feel like you can still move around really, really well. I just wanted to zoom in a little bit closer and show you one more time that the nozzle itself, it is designed well. It's a smart design. It didn't leak for me at all. Up and down, and open and close, as well as that cap. That's a good convenient measure to keep it clean, because you want the cap for keeping it clean. You don't want other stuff to get in there if you're laying it down. Don't want bugs to get in there. But then also so that it doesn't drain or leak on you at the wrong times. Speaking of draining it out, at the very bottom of the hose, there is a connector with a little, if you just see right there, okay, so you have a seal, and then you press a button, and it kind of has a detent built into it, and it allows you to remove it. There's that seal again at the bottom. Seals up perfectly tight, no leakage issues whatsoever, and it seems to me that after you wash it out, there's no taste from any of the plastic. It's just like normal water. It tastes the way that it should taste. So make sure you wash it out when you first buy this, by the way. That's an important thing to do with anything you're going to eat or drink out of or off of. You just wash it out first. Here is the seal that's on the main opening, so that's where you're going to fill it up from whatever your sink or your tap or your water filter, a water bottle perhaps. This is where you're going to fill it from, and then you go ahead and tighten it up all the way, and it does have an O-ring on it to keep it from leaking from that point as well. Everything's pretty bomb-proof on this one, guys. That's the point. It's not a $300 hydration backpack. It doesn't need to be. I think most people, this is going to cover what their need is to stay active, to get out hiking, backpacking, biking, the activities that you usually need to have some water accessible to you on that hose. Very, very convenient. But even if you don't use the hydration bladder itself, if that's not something that's part of your interest, and you just need a slimline backpack that's affordable, this is probably going to hit your price point. Not to mention, I think the camo is really, really cool. The multicam has come a long ways from different companies. I think it actually really looks neat. It's one of my favorite camo designs. I blend in really, really well with that backpack. So if that's something you're interested in, you kind of like that thing. This is a cool camo design, but they come in other colors on Amazon. They sell a whole lot of outdoors products. They sell some things for the range. They sell things for hiking, backpacking, exploring, and there's so many different kind of tools on there. Lots of affordable stuff that you can find, and if you check them out right now, they might still have the multicam one in stock. Like I said, this filled a gap and a niche that I didn't know I didn't have. I had lots of bigger backpacks, kind of large backpacks that they're going to weigh you down. They kind of get in the way sometimes when you're in tighter areas of hiking or travel, and I needed something that was just a little bit more like a carry-on bag, a small one, but it had to be reliable, had to be tough enough, and it had to be convenient, something I would be willing to take with me and served a purpose, and this serves two purposes. Like I said, go check them out on Amazon. I think the price will really impress you.